Good morning, HCGers. This is Laura. So I'm reporting in on my VLCD day 4. Well, I wasn't too happy this morning because I was only down 0.2, but I went back and looked at my last round stats, and on my 4th day, I also had a smaller release, and I did have a larger release yesterday, so I think it's, you know, maybe just the way my body works. Plus, I'm starting to feel a little Tommy coming on, you know, and that's next week. So I might, you know, with, who knows, with taking HCG, it gets all discombobulated, and so anyways, 0.2, I'm going to try to stay positive. This is my working Friday, which helps keep me on track. You know, it's one less day to have to myself and have to be around things. But I say that, and right now I'm living by myself because my husband's away and all my kids have moved out, and I don't really have any major temptations unless I make them. And really, typically my only cheat typically is to overeat my protein. And which is why portioning out my food does really well for me. However, tonight I do think that I'm going to have steak and asparagus again, and for some reason my body loses better on my grass-fed beef than it does on chicken, and that just blows my mind because it's less calories. So I don't know. The butcher wraps the majority of our stuff in 2-pound packages, you know, because I was a family of 4 when we had our cow butchered. So there's still steak out, and I need to get it cooked anyways, so I'm gonna have that for dinner tonight and hope for a big release tomorrow. I'm trying to stay positive. I have extra motivation to lose 30 pounds. My LinkedIn profile picture is back when I was probably 175 pounds. So I kind of feel really guilty that I've left a public profile picture out there of me that isn't really representative of me. And so there's 2 reasons why I say that. So the company I work for, which is a major construction company, one of the largest in the world, is making us put our profiles in a public cantorium, so that way it's easier to bid on projects and to show our credentials and the depth and breadth of the knowledge of our company. You just have to do that when you're doing bids and proposals for some of these major projects. So they are forcing us to do that. So far, I have not gone and added my picture, which we're being required to do. You know, it helps in a lot of ways when you're working on a project with 5,000 people and you talk to them on the phone. And for us, we're about 20 miles away from our actual construction site. So we have about 3,000 employees out at the construction site. And then we have just over 2,500 or so from in town, and then we have a couple offices in a different couple of states. And so when they come, or you run into them, it's really nice to associate that name and that voice you've talked to with an actual face. And so I appreciate the fact that we should be doing that. We all wear badges with our pictures on them. So my other company I worked for just took your badge picture, and let me tell you, your badge picture is sometimes worse than your driver's license picture. If those people are having a bad day, they just wait till you have a bad look on your face and snap it. And then they're like, oh, here you go. It's like, wow. And then you have to live with that for typically, depending on how long you work for the company, forever. Unless you start gaining weight, losing weight, changing your hair significantly, you know, there's some requirements of when you need to get a new badge. But they're pretty strict because they don't want to spend the money. Hello, it costs $5. So, anyways, also, I have applied for a new job down in North Carolina, and I've applied for a couple of them. They're the same exact position I'm doing here, but this time my husband took my resume and handed it to the hiring manager. So I have some extra incentive to maybe get back more to my public profile picture, like on LinkedIn or something, because you hate to say it's misrepresentative of who you are, but definitely would be a shock for me to show up, you know, 50 pounds heavier, you know, than what that picture represented. So, you know, 20 pounds is probably more acceptable. So I have some extra incentive as to why I need to stay pop and try not to cheat, which I don't like cheat on sweets. I'm really good at that. It's the extra protein that I'll add in here and there. So anyways, trying to stay positive, only down 0.2 today, and it wasn't that great in the morning. I got up an hour early, but that probably didn't play too much into it. Anyways, only a 0.2 pound loss, so I'll talk at you guys tomorrow.